I'd like to call to order tonight's meeting of ISD 191 School Board's Policy Review Committee. The date is September 16th, 2025, and the time is 5 p.m. Thank you to those who are joining us tonight. No new policies, so we're going to move starting with Director of Student Support Services, Policy 516.5, Overdose Medication. Welcome.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
So I'm here to talk about 516.5. There are no changes that we are recommending. There was a piece in there that we've decided not to put in at this time regarding students being able to carry Narcan. We're hoping to wait to see what other districts decide and what their practices are around that piece. But we're confident that because we have Narcan throughout our school, we've got a process set up. We're going to stick with that process. Or that's what we recommend to do.
Gotcha. Thank you. Comments or questions, committee members?
Good.
No? Just one clarifying question.
Yes.
Remembering, thinking back to the last time, one of the prior times that this came forward, athletic playing fields are incorporated into the planning of this, of the implementation of this policy, correct?
Yes, they are, and we have them set up around the AD devices or whatever, so that is where it's at currently. We don't have a practice where our coaches are being trained in doing something like that, but we have other people out there with our deans and our APs and things, so I can certainly double check and make sure that we have that covered, but
Sure.
I am confident that we've covered those grounds as well.
Sounds good. Yeah, if you just email committee members, just to confirm, that's fine. Thank you. All right. So 5-6, unless there are any other questions? No. That will be first reading. Next, we will move to policy 516, student medication and telehealth, staying with Amy.
All right. So some of the changes that have gone through is they're kind of working with some of the words that they're using. And so rather than having auto injectors, they're changing it to a delivery system to impact other options that we have for epinephrine. On part 5 or page 516-4, from our particular policy, we are removing about the third part down where it says "and medical doctor." We're no longer requiring that for over-the-counter non-prescription medications such as Advil, Tylenol, and things like that. So we're removing that in hopes that we might have more students who just might feel achy and want to go home, that we get to give them some over-the-counter medication and keep them in school. The other thing that they did is in Part D, they added some definitions: administrator, epinephrine delivery system, and school. So they kind of have defined some of those things out. And then they added on page 516-6 that the Commissioner of Health will provide the districts with the order of distribution. So we're going to leave that in our policy.
Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Questions or comments? Nope. All right. Policy 516 will be first reading. Staying with Amy, policy 414, mandated reporting of child neglect or physical or sexual abuse.
Is that me or is that you, Stacy? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you're free to take it.
I don't want steal Dr. Daniels.
I was going to share with you.
Good evening.
Welcome, Stacy.
414, let's see here. They're just referring to statute under section M. And that's pretty much the only changes that MSBA is making at this point, and I have no other recommendations for it.
Okay. Thank you. Questions? No. All right. Policy 414 will be on first reading. Next, staying with Stacy, policy 534, school meals policy.
Okay. This policy also is coming to us from MSBA. We're cleaning up some of the provisions for second meal, both for breakfast, for lunch. First meal would be covered. The second meal would be at cost if a student wanted additional food. Also, just calling out the fact that we are under the federal programming created by the Minnesota Department of Education under 2B. So those are primarily the only changes that we're recommending.
Okay. Questions or comments? Okay. School meal policy 534, first reading. Next, speeding right along to policy 707, transportation of public school students.
Okay. Policy 707, just working on rewording around the word disability to disabilities and rewriting that phrase is what's going on with the language from MSBA. Just a little cleanup on how it reads.
Questions or comments? I had just one question. At the bottom of page 709-3, the language, district may provide kindergarten students with training before the first day of school.
Oh, you're on the next one. 709? I just wrapped up 707.
Typed it in the wrong place, sorry.
Okay. Not a problem, let's keep this going.
Yep, since that question is for another policy, first reading. Now 709, student transportation.
Okay. For 709, we're removing all of the items for the specific deadlines. We're still required to provide the training. The deadlines put into statute was cumbersome because it didn't take into account anything that happens at the local level. So, but we are still required to provide all the training for K through 12.
Awesome. Questions? Oh, thank you for answering that, Stacy. 709 will be first reading. Next, we have policy 802, disposition of obsolete equipment and material.
This seems like this should have been there a long time ago. It just allows school districts to dispose of books through donations to families or charitable organizations without having to go through the whole process of public auction and postings and everything else along the line. So this just seems a reasonable policy, reasonable change that has finally made its way to policies.
Awesome. Questions? All right. This policy will also be on first reading. Last policy, we have 806, crisis management policy.
Okay. Really what's going on here is MSBA is recommending, or statute is probably recommending, that we add the resources for state or local reporting to our website or where the information is available for families.
Great. Comments? All right. This one will also be on first reading. Sarah, do you have everything that you need from us?
Just to clarify the 516.5, there was the change, but then there was the change to not change it. So should that still be first reading with no changes? So the policy, it was my mistake putting it on under no changes, but there was
a,
the 2 meetings
yeah,
and I didn't get that.
that's fine. Yeah, it can be on consent. That's fine, yeah. I'll just change that in my notes. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I have everything else.
Okay, awesome. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.